Welcome everyone. My name is Jane. I'm a psychic and energy intuitive. So we have group 1, group 2, and group 3. You can pick more than one card. The one that holds your attention is your main message. I just want to let you know that my readings are for people that are going through their healing, that want to heal, for education, for confirmations and activations. So whenever you find this, it's the right time for you, and all of our sessions are timeless. Don't try to force anything or try to make anything fit. Even if you don't really resonate with it, there probably will still be activations here for you because you were drawn to this video for a reason. I don't know what that reason is. That's up to with you and your guides. And your guides do connect through you, connect to you through me. So with that, we're just going to start with group 1. So we're going to let the magic begin. Welcome, group 1. Let's see what is in store for you. So we have number 28, a pool of Christ light. Open your heart, spread unconditional love. Okay. So, there's a theory. I don't really know how true it is. I never actually asked my guides or anything, but I have heard and have read many times that unicorns are actually connected to source light. So you might really resonate with like the moon. You might resonate with unicorns, white unicorns, also with butterflies. The butterflies too give me that vibe of like transformation. Okay, so we're just gonna start. Oh, okay. So they want me to bring out a card for me to set aside to read at the end. This one. Okay, so we're just going to use this deck here. I did a lot of shuffling before I started here. They're going to have me cut this, which I always do on camera. So let's bring this here. I just want to mix it a little bit more so that you're getting the message that you're supposed to get here. Okay, Spirit. I believe with this card here, I believe that they're asking you to surround yourself in this kind of golden white light. This one. This one here. This looks like, this is the yin and yang here on either side. So you have, and then this is all like the chakras that are lit up. It's got like all these like symbols that are completely around here too. So they told me that these cards, whoever gets these cards are going to be some kind of activation too. So they had me add into this one the sacred geometry cards. And that usually there's in these cards there's a lot of like crop circle type designs in them. So we're going to see what's all in there. Those, the King of Knives here. So we have this is somebody that's like a fair person. This is somebody that can emotionally remove themselves. This kind of person, you might ask this person for help with making decisions, but they'll like kind of come across as like unkind, but they do it in like a respectful way. I'm not really sure how that is manageable, but where sometimes I think you get the feeling that they're cold or on feeling, but they are a very fair person. The only thing though is that they can turn negative in a way that makes them seem cold and on feeling, but I don't know if they completely are. I think it's just the way they come across. Okay. Because how can you be unkind and respectful in the same token? You know what I mean? Oh, the Queen of Pentacles. This is somebody that is that excels with like home related things. You're a great problem solver. You're a really big nurturer. You know, you're very confident in all your abilities, and you always seem to be prepared. You always make people feel like family. That's that nurturing type of person that you are. And you know, however, you always do feel like you need to be needed to feel worthy, but that's something that you might need to work on, perhaps. And then we have the Three of Wands, or Seven of Wands, Three of Wands. What was that? I was just looking at. So we have the Seven of Wands here, which is all about responsibility. And it's one that this person would be the one that's in charge. Maybe you feel like that you can't rely on anyone else and you just have to do it for yourself. So you dig deep, and it helps you recognize your inner strength, though. Um, and you could have accomplished a lot because of that. I think, you know what I mean? Just like not just in the physical world, but I think in like the spiritual, like working on your soul kind of thing. I think that that is your I don't want to say it's your guiding light, but I think it's kind of, you know, that compass that you have within you. Okay, and then you have the Two of Knives. So you have the King and the Two of Knives. This is this card is like somebody that is not really great at making decisions. But then, I mean, who really is? I mean, we all make mistakes, and we all, you know, have to deal with the prickles of life when we make the wrong decisions. So I'm not really sure. I mean, you could maybe feel stuck or stalled out. This could be like the relationship that you're in. Maybe you don't feel like you're supported by this person. Like, I think you go to them and you're like, okay, I'm, I have to make this decision. Can you help me sort through it? But this person kind of makes you feel like they don't really care, or they don't really, it doesn't really concern them, or they just, and it makes you feel like they're just being cold and unfeeling towards you. But I don't think that's what it is. I think that there could be some kind of miscommunication of some sort going on here. Also, this card here, the Two of Knives, this is about you're not sure which direction to go in, and maybe it's time that you need to wake up to what's really going on. You know, maybe you need to move past something, like to like release it or snap out of it, or I think it's just the way that you're thinking about this person, but I don't think that's how this person truly feels. Okay, so we're going to move on here to these two. I have so many cards coming out here. All right, let me just move these over just a little teeny bit here. Okay, so I can fit these. So these are from the Sacred Geometry deck that I have. Ooh, oh my gosh, 31 new beginnings. And you know what? New beginnings too, because that's like this card here represents like the breath of life, like the prana, like birth, deep love. Um, it's almost like this is like some kind of expanding into new beginnings or something, because it could be like, it could be a child, yes, but it could also be a relationship like what's going on over here, or it could be a project that you have going on in your life. But I think you're breathing some kind of new life into this new beginning. I don't know if you're thinking about separating from this person, or thinking that they're not there to support you. I don't know. Let's just keep going on and see what's going on here, because this talks about the new beginnings. But okay, so we have here, together we fly. In this card here, this is actually a crop formation. I think that I was just talking about that a minute ago. That some of these cards replicate crop formations. And this one, I think this one is the one from Great Britain in 2005. I think that's what that crop, no, that's not that one. No, this is a different one. No, yeah, I do believe that is the one from Great Britain from 2005, this crop thing that they found in the fields. This is about how about growth and freedom. And this one also taught, like, this is about expanding here. So you're doing some kind of, you're breathing life into some kind of new, I don't know if this reading or this is something like this is going to help activate you in some way. But I do believe that, you've been doing some kind of inner thinking and trying to decide where you want to go, where you want this relationship to go. Do you want to breathe more new life into it, or do you want to walk away from it? I'm not really sure, but it seems like you really want to just breathe new life into it. Okay. Okay. All right. Because this is all about like rising to new heights. This is about like joining together and like cooperating, and it has the dragonfly here. That's something you could be seeing, and the eagles. Also, the dragonfly is also like this big transformation and using all that intuitive knowledge or something. Okay, so pool of Christ light. Pool of Christ light. Okay, and then and it's having me look here at the water here at the 7 of Wands, because like I think you feel like you have to be the one in charge, but it's making you dig deep to recognize your inner strength somehow. So think something that you've accomplished. So open your heart and spread unconditional love, and then you have like this birthing here. Okay, and then so you're a nurturer too. All right, let's see what else they want here. Okay. They're asking me to bring out this mermaid deck here. Atlantis, rapid development, excel, and success. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this growth, some kind of rapid development going on. Number 19 or 10. And that's again like okay. Oh my goodness, falling in love is underneath it, kissing the divine in another, in yourself. Okay. I think you're being asked to, oh my God, divination. I think you're being asked to, you're really being asked to look within. The crane bag, sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, choice. Yeah, just like I was saying, I think you're having some kind of decision making, like should you breathe new life into this situation that you're in here. Okay, and then on the bottom is beauty, grace, loving, loveless, lovelessness, yeah, integrity of form and spirit. All right, let me see what they want here. I'm just going to mix these up a little here, and then we're going to pick out a card or two, maybe. Go in here. This is a new deck. I've only used a couple times now. Oh, they're really sticky. It's this one here underneath. This one here. The present, gift, treasure, revelation of own value, nowness. For 12, it's also a 3. Okay, so the present here is where they're talking about, taking that time and really going within and making your decisions. I think it's because you feel like you're stuck, because the Two of Knives is like you're like stuck, and you're in like some kind of prickly situation, or I think you feel like your relationship has stalled out or something. But the only way to decide what you want to do, if you want to breathe this new life into this situation, um, I think that they're just asking you to connect in the Christ light before you do any kind of spiritual practices of going within, being in the present, and it'll help you make that decision. Like, empty your mind and go with your feelings, not with what's rattling around in your head so much. Like, go with what your gut is telling you to feel. Like, what is it that you're feeling? Because your feeling is really what's controlling everything anyway, right? Okay. Wave of power, no joke. A surge of power, upswing in energy, exhilarating movement. Yeah. Yeah, and it's about this individual, I believe it is, because it comes right out under the King of Knives. Divine sensuality, make love, erotica. It's split here on the magic of the Colleen, I don't know, Druid. It's caution, secrecy, wary. Yeah, you're really, okay, Spirit. They're really trying to figure this out. So what information you want them to know? Okay. Protection. The fairies of protection are shielding you with magical fairy ring of love and light. Practice psychic protection before embarking upon a spiritual work. That's what I was just saying about, protect yourself in this yellow white light here. Find balance. I think this is where they're trying to say, like, you need to take that time, because it's find the balance between your work, rest, and playtime, and you will have more energy, harmony, and productivity in your life. Take a power nap. Yeah, see, I think this is where they're saying, like, just, oh my goodness, there's hope. Hope is always there, even if we can't see it. Optimistic expectations can help change a negative situation into a positive one. Okay. So that's you have the hope. Um, I think this might be your last ditch effort or something. I keep getting like this is last ditch effort. You're going to try to breathe new life into this situation, but I don't think you feel like you're supported and that you're doing it. Look, shine from within. That's what they were just like, protect yourself with this. Okay. Looks are only skin deep. True beauty, look, to bring out the beauty, shines from within, and it's time for you to shine. This is a time for self-acceptance and for revealing your true beauty. And in this deck, it also came up about the beauty. Oh my goodness, and your light. Look, the fairy queen of light comes to shed love and light into your current situation and to remind you that light can penetrate the darkness. Wow, Spirit. Okay, so what do you want for here? They want a dragon card for over here. They're bringing out all the elementals for some reason. I don't know. They were really going on about the elementals for this. That's why they had me start with the, there's air dragon on the bottom. Help you rise above earthly matters. Communicate honestly. Brings inspiration and hope. see life from a higher perspective. Oh my goodness, Spirit, this is the card you want. Okay. You know, oh my goodness, looking on the bottom, rainbow dragon. And I've been noticing they've been bringing out a lot of rainbows, in all these colors. Okay. So rainbow dragon brings a leap of joy that opens new doors. Have trust, rediscover wisdom, expect miracles, accept opportunities. Oh my goodness, on the bottom, dusty pink dragon from Andromeda. It says, prepare all your chakras to embody higher love. Accept and radiate higher love. Touch others with its flame. And because it's talking about like all the chakras, and that's going to make me bring this one out because I'm pretty sure that's what all this is all about, the chakras too. There's something about this. You want something? There's something here they want me to read in this air dragon. On that book. Here we go. Air dragon. There's seeing that, this is a lot about like the colors here it kind of gives me that the voice, and that's why I like communicate honestly. Like it's all about the sound here. It's about, and not only that, air also is like the thinking. Okay, air dragon. Okay, they come in different, let me look this up because they come in different dimensions. I don't know. It's the fourth dimension, air dragon, number 20. Okay. 20 air dragon. Here we go. So the guidance of the air dragon suggests that you take things lightly. So choosing this card indicates you should relax and look at part of your life with a higher perspective. Just like I was saying before. Okay. Air dragons also inspire you to communicate honestly but lovingly in a way that calms and soothes everyone around you and promotes good outcomes. Honest communication will bring pure white light into your aura. And then when this happens, everybody will trust and respect you. That's why I was saying, I think they're asking you to surround yourself in that light. So I was right. Okay, so blue air dragons are supporting you as you rise above your challenges. They will help you to say, and most tactfully, or inspirational words and assist you to stand in your power with integrity. Breathe blue and white light into your heart center, and as an air dragon appears in front of you, breathe the light over it. In this way, you are energizing and motivating it so that it will always be connected to you. It is time to decide on your next step. So be clear about what you really want. Your air dragon will accompany you as you fly towards your chosen destiny. That's why I said, like, you're trying to make that decision if you want to breathe life into this relationship that you're pondering over. I mean, this could be like bringing in a child into your situation. You're kind of like reevaluating that. Oh, what's this card number? Number 37 or a 10. And then this one also is a 28 or a 10. Okay. Let's see. What was the number of that again? 37, right? 37. It's called The Unexpected Path. Okay. The universe. Okay, so here we go. The unexpected path. The universe has a knowing that we as humans cannot possibly comprehend. At times, our path will move in unexpected directions as the greater guiding intelligence of the universe unfolds, carrying all beings, including us, along for the ride. Although the unexpected twists of life may evoke curiosity, they might also evoke anxiety. When life isn't going in the direction you want, take a moment to consider that the universe loves you and is nurturing your spiritual fulfillment. You don't have to fight against life to have peace and happiness. Let go of what you think you need and open up to the blessings being sent to you now. That's being in the present, right? And there is something better on the horizon. Okay, so I hope this has been able to find you and has been able to help you. Though I don't really relate to this reading, I'm sure it relates to somebody because they wouldn't have me do it otherwise. Now, I'm going to just move on to group 2. So I'm going to bid you a good day and sending you love and light. Okay, welcome, group 2. Let's see what you have here. Cosmic Diamond. Spread hope and joy. Illuminate the world. Number 30. And there's a lot of diamonds in this too. Okay, they're going to have me pull out a card here to read to you in the end. Okay, I'm going to have me use this deck here. Okay, let's see here. Cut this on. Oh, number 44 on the top there. Okay. This one. Number 32. I'm always curious to see what the other one is. Number 32 or a 5. 5 is change. This, I have no idea. Sorry. Thought I would be able to find something out of that picture that I could resonate with, but nothing. Oh my God. Are those people? No, it's just I thought for a minute there it looked like people holding hands. Jeez, I thought I was in like Whoville for a second there. Okay, let's move on. All right, so they're gonna have me bring out this tarot. You ended up getting 5 tarot cards come out for this one. So let's see what this is all about. So you have the Knight of Pentacles. The Knight of Pentacles is all about, this is like a great friend, someone that you would want to, be in your friend group. You'd want them on your side if you were ever in any kind of argument. They're very loyal, but sometimes I think because their loyalty is so strong within them, they can be like stubborn perhaps sometimes. They might be like really quiet and it takes a little bit of time to get to know them. They might be an introvert too. You have the 2 of Cups. So this is like an exciting relationship or a friendship that's going to start. I mean, this also represents like a long-lasting relationship with someone that in your life, they're going to be around for the long haul. Okay, so what do we have here? Oh, the Emperor. Wow. So the Emperor card is like the logical mind. It's like a masculine energy. It's about stability, dependability. This person has like goals and they have like a structure to their life. You can just trust their decisions too, because, like the masculine energy is all about using their logical mind, as like with the Empress though would be more about the intuition. See, I do believe though, like with this though, like you see how they're like mirroring each other. So I think this is going to be some kind of energy that's going to be able to match yours. So whether you're female or male, it doesn't matter. Oh my goodness, you have the Judgment. This is like all about how you feel and self-judgment kind of thing. It's about how you can get stuck. And, getting stuck is when like maybe sometimes you have to make atonements to people and just apologize, even though like you perhaps didn't really do anything so much that was wrong, but you could have just take the responsibility of just being part of that relationship that has like failed in the past or whatever. This is about releasing like all those like how they have the skeletons in your closet. Well, these are like those old ghosts that you have in your closet that to release these old feelings and patterns, right? And this is all about, once you start clearing out all these things here, it brings an emotional maturity. Now, I don't know if it's this individual or if it's you. I mean, it's probably both of you, because if they're going to match you, then that means like if this person's doing it, that means you've already done it or you're doing it as well. Like you're doing that same, emotional maturity. Oh, here we got the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles is basically like, don't be afraid to lean on your friends. They're there for you. Like, um, like, that you're like an awesome type person, and that, like you got to recognize that, through all the things that we go through in life, like the people that are around you, they help you become who you are. So, taking that time to recognize that is, it's always a good thing, right? Because, it helps you become like grateful for, all the old things that you judge yourself over, right? So, life lessons and experiences with others, you know, they really do form who we are, because, from childhood, even, and our peers are, going to school, like people we work with, all of it all influences of who we are as humans, basically. So, okay, let's move on here. This is a sacred geometry deck that has activations in it. And actually, this card, 63 Jade Meander, this card is about harmony and balance. Now, this card is also, I think this is a crop formation type card. This is also, okay, so what this card talks about is to look at the beauty in everything that's around you, because when you are looking at all the beauty of things, and like, it will help you create a greater harmony within yourself. Also, they're just saying, like, if you make like simple observations of the things around you, like, I mean, you're just like, I don't know, going to your car and you just notice like this flower. They're just saying, like, take that time and observe that flower. It helps transform your perceptions. It helps you to realize that you can experience things in, a multi-dimensional way. It brings like a beauty and harmony within your heart. Um, and like, really, like when you're like staring, or like say you see a butterfly or something, just take that moment to take it in, and just be like, how does this, seeing this butterfly, make me feel? And then you'll associate that feeling with that item, and with that, and that's what helps bring in that, the harmony, and because you're seeing the beauty and everything, so it'll create a greater harmony. It's like the steps of doing that, it helps with that. Okay, so let's see what else we have here. Oh, see, there's purification, meditation, purification. You know what? This is all about forgiveness. See, like here, like, I think you need to do some forgiveness of yourself. I think that, this card also talks about like purifying your consciousness, like purifying those thoughts, like tuning into your heart. Not a joke here, because that's exactly what's going on up in the tarot cards. So, um, tune into your heart and allow your heart to be your guidance and your support. It will help, like with this card here, with, taking that time to look at everything, and like each individual thing that you see, like, a little dog or a butterfly or a flower or whatever it is, taking that time to get that feeling and connect that, that's how you're like working in a multidimensional field, more so than like a 3D, like, oh yeah, butterfly, and you keep on going, but you're not actually like, oh, look at the colors, look how big or little, look at the spots, look at, how it like hovered in my face before it went to the flower, like, all those things, right? So it helps with, when you do that, and this card is talking about removing that old paradigm of thinking, like the prejudice, that, reactions, like that, those, those automatic like reactions, like they're saying, like, take that time and just observe things from a different perspective, from a different, have a different perception of how to experience life, I guess, is what they're trying to say. So, and these, because when we all do it, because this is not just you, but we all do this, when we allow our thinking to become tainted with prejudice, and then sometimes we're in a bad mood and we just allow that to, our reactions to not be so pure. Those prejudices and reactions that we have, they tend to lead us to feel guilt, gloom, and or confusion. And I think that's why the judgment card came out, because it creates like a self-criticism. And that's something you could be doing. Like maybe you've been losing your temper, or, because I see the fire here and it just gives me that, those has like all these hearts here. They want you to purify your heart so that you're just seeing things in a different way. Do you know what I mean? Okay. So then we have, oh my God, together, and it comes right out underneath that. Wow. So number 14, together. This is about co-creation and balance. Wow. Okay. Because this card also is about balance and beauty and harmony. Sorry. But it's, okay. So this card also, it has the flower of life on here. So it tells me that you're trying to birth this new relationship here. And, this is all about, like you'll have like the masculine, just like the emperor, and then you have your feminine, and you have, this is like the balance of having the both of those, like the masculine and feminine. So this card, okay, so this card is like, it's like four main things about this card. So the first one is about having your masculine and your feminine balanced in their power. So you're in your own power, right? And then you have, it's, yeah, finding that inner balance. Yeah. And then number 2 is observe the way your intimate relationships are functioning. So now your intimate relationships doesn't just have to be like a spouse. Like it could be, your siblings or your parents or your children, or, even your coworkers. Like observe the way your intimate relationships are functioning, and kind of like analyze them. So see them in a different perception, like look at it from a different way. But like, just like using this is like to create that greater harmony, to look at the beauty of everything, like take the time to actually experience it as a multidimensional being. You know what I mean? Now, this also talks about, this card also represents, okay, so that was 1, that was 2. So the third one is to consider how you co-create with your coworkers. Now, it's not always just about like, you have a goal in mind, and you just work beside them to get that job done. Look at all the intimate relationships that you have with them too. And then last, number 4, is look how you're viewing the world. This card is to shift you into more of like a unity, a oneness, into peace. And you know what I mean? That's why I'm saying, like, when you shift into that oneness, it's going to create this bond with your significant other. Okay. That's a lot of information, Spirit. All right. So what else do you want them to know here? Okay. Looking on the bottom, divine sensuality. Okay. One of these. Whoa. Spread hope and joy, illuminate the world. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I think you're still going through a lot of that self-criticism and self-judgment here. This one, Spirit. On the bottom, look, beauty, grace, loveliness, integrity, a form, and spirit. Freedom, independence, self-determination. Okay. Let's see what this one is here. Oh my God, energy field adjustment. And that's exactly it. You know, your aura cleansing and your health. That's what they're trying to do here. Oh, that's what these activations are here. See, and this talks about the cleansing too, right? This is about purification. Purification meditation. Energy field adjustment. Aura cleansing and health. Yes, you know, when you're doing this kind of, you know, it does bring a cleansing. And, you know, you have number 14, which also is, could be a 5. And then you have this card is number 6. Okay. So they want one of these ones here. Splitting here, precious time. The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. That's why they were talking about here with these sacred geometry that to take like this here, to take that time and just use simple observations, because those observations can transform. Okay. Let's see what else they have here. Oh my goodness, look, the light. Yeah, that's like all that diamond. Okay, let's see. Yeah. Oh my goodness, look, ask for help. Angels are celestial beings who protect everyone. And the fairies say now is the time for you to ask for angelic assistance. That's to clear these the self-judgment. They'll help you with that. They'll help you release that self-judgment. Okay. Well, precious times back on, still on the bottom. Is there anything else here, Spirit? Oh, I flipped one over here. Flourish. The lotus flower. Look, and I was just talking about that flower of life in this card here, the together. The lotus flower fairy tells you to learn from experience and shed your inner light on any unclear areas of your life or those of others. That's where they're talking about here. They're talking about the, oh my God, your pure intention too. Look at that. The fairy of manifestation will help you to use your wishes wisely, manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. See, the flourish here, they're talking about, like with these cards here, and they're talking about how just shed that light onto and do this purification here, and to shed the light on this old paradigm way of thinking, because that's what's bringing you all of this self-judgment and criticism, because you like, I think that like you're just in the moment and you're saying things, and you know what I mean. So they're asking you to take that time and yeah, so ask for help. Okay, ask for help and flourish, because they'll that will help you. Goodness, flourish. Yeah. Lotus flower. This deck here. All right, then they want one of these. Dragon cards. Oh, I was going to pull one out, but they threw one out here for me. Pure white dragon, no joke. Look at that from Orion. Transform your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. Spirit. That's beautiful. So they're just repeating that same message. What is it that you want here, Spirit? They're splitting this deck here. Omega Dragon. Oh my God. So there's like the Alpha and the Omega. Okay. So harness the divine feminine power of creation, intention, hold your vision, birth the higher consciousness. Wow. Okay. All right. So they want me to read this card here. So it's number 32, or also a 5 again. 32. Let's see what this card says here. Number 32. Restless for rebirth. Okay. Do you ever feel like you want something, but you cannot quite articulate what that something is? Those are the times when growth simply must happen. When you feel compelled toward an unknown future, restlessness, excitement, or anxiety may be a part of your growth experience. Negative responses towards what is happening are not an accurate assessment of what is unfolding for you. They are an accurate indication of emotional distress, likely sourced from childhood, which requires a response of compassion rather than panic. In whatever ways work for you, connect with the source of spiritual light that you love the most. Relax into their comfort and assistance. Ask for help. And here the purification. Wow. Okay. You will know when to act, what to do, and when to let things unfold. Let your restlessness move you further along your inner journey without becoming impatient or forceful in your approach. As you grow, your outlook will become considerably more positive. And this has all been talking about like the mind. It's been talking all about that forgiveness and to look at things in a different way. Okay, Spirit, that's been a beautiful message. I hope this has been helpful to someone, and I'm going to bid you a good day, and I'm going to send you love and light, and we'll move on to group 3. Welcome, group 3. Let's see what we have. You here. 36 or 9. Be a beacon, be an inspiration, light the ways for others. Okay. Okay, this card is all about community. It's about family and community. It's also about being connected to the higher realms. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so before I get into these cards here, they're asking me to bring out a postcard to read at the end of the reading. So I'm just going to mix these, and then I'm going to cut the deck and find out. I'll put this card aside. They want me to read it at the end. Okay. My goodness. This one. What does it say on the bottom? Okay. Put this aside. Okay, I don't know what's on that postcard, so I can't even make out what that says here. Let's see if I can read that. Hope floats is what it says. Hope floats. All right, we'll read that after and see. Okay. So we have, oh, you have a lot in the tarot too. Okay. Okay, so we have the Four Pentacles. The Four Pentacles is, can either be a comforting card or a warning. You know, this card, it represents stability with your finances and home life. This person could also, though, be too controlling over possessions. You know, this person, I think they're being asked to share their knowledge with others, and that makes sense because it's saying here, be an inspiration, light the way for others. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh, yeah, look, this is the giving and receiving, the Six of Pentacles. Okay, so, this is like things are like finally going your way. This is like whatever you've been working on, something's, finally going to pay off for you. I mean, you could have been working really hard on a job or a new business or a relationship. I'm not really sure which. It could be, it could be all the above, right? But it's definitely something that you've been working hard on. Okay, so we have the Knight of Pentacles here. The Knight of Pentacles is like a go, go, go energy. This person, you need a lot of stamina to keep up with them. This person has like this determination and they're goal oriented. They're really super focused. This person can be really helpful. They're also really intelligent. Okay. So this could be like a business partner or somebody you work with or a relationship that you're in. So this is the Page of Pentacles. And this is like the quiet type of person. They don't mind hard work. They don't need the glory. They're comfortable working behind the scenes. They're really responsible. You can count on them. Thing is, though, like they're really independent. This individual's really independent. So, leaning on them is, they're happy to be there, but you can't lean on them for a long period of time. They're just too independent. They won't allow it to go on and on for any length of time. So, and it could be because, I think that you might be some kind of like healer or light worker of some sort. Okay, let's see what else we have going on here with this deck here is the Sacred Geometry deck. And oh my goodness, look, Divine Mother, number 10. Divine Mother, this is like asking you to like activate your direct knowledge of self as pure and luminous light. And this card actually will set you in that motion because holy, they're asking you to light the way for others. They're saying like this card is all about like the pure luminous light. It also is about, I can see that they're like the triangle going up here and the triangle going down. This is about the masculine and the feminine, but I mean, this card is just about the Divine Mother, but that's what those triangles when they're facing up and down. Also, this is to remind you that you are definitely an integral part of spirit and to celebrate your feminine aspects of like the God that you have within you, because we're all one. Like this is all about taking the time in your day to recognize the oneness that you have with spirit. And it could be like through Gaia or Mother Mary or Kuan Yin or even Green Terra. I mean, there's others as well, but it's that type of energy they're talking about. Okay, let's see what else we have here. Oh my gosh, 52. It's elemental embrace, and the number 7 too. Like you have 52, but also number 7. Number 7 is like, it indicates like the stages of transformation. So, This card also, the elemental, it means like the elemental forces, and then it also is like what's that word again? Synthesis. I think it's synthesis. It's where like the combining of separate elements to form a whole. So like here, like you'll see in the card here, you'll see here they have like they have the fire, and they have the water here. Like this is like the fire from the volcano. So this is, and then you'll see how like the fire, when the volcano hits the water, it creates like this steam. So it's almost like these two elements, like the fire and the water combining together, it's creating like the steam, the vapor in the air. So it's representing like, this card basically represents like body, mind, and spirit. So the body would be considered the water, the mind would be considered the air, and your spirit would be considered the passion, the fire that you have within, that self-confidence, the willpower, the determination. Just like that King of Knives has that deep determination to become more, to be, use their intelligence, like they're asking here also to, like in this, in the Four of Pentacles, they're asking here, to share your knowledge with others, and here it's like, be a beacon, be an inspiration. you know with these elements that they're talking about, it's like, find an understanding of the relationship among the elemental forces, so that you can live in harmony with your environment. And it's all about the mystery of the cosmos, because like, we all resonate with different things. Like for me, like I resonate with, I get certain messages brought to me by certain things, like, sometimes songs, sometimes repeated phrases, like different things like that. So we all have to find our own cosmic mystery. Like it's a mystery for us, because we all, like I resonate with certain, my totem, my animal totem, like it has a lot of different varieties of species. And maybe that's, for you is the same. Maybe that's, your thing, right? You have to, that is your mystery to figure out, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So yeah, because where they have the giving and the receiving here, like when you give, you're going to receive back what you're putting out. All right, so you want one of these. They want me to bring out a mermaid card here. Beauty on the bottom, book freedom, independence, self-determination. Again, see, they keep going on about like this determination, this is about determination. Okay. Transparency, honest, authentic, genuine, present. Yeah, you know what? It just showing up every day to light the way for others, just being that inspiration. This one here. Or two. It's on the bottom. Homeland, arrival, a journey ends. Establishment, building, settled. Okay. The present, that came out in the last reading too. Gift, treasure, revelation, and of own value, nowness. I was just talking about how you got to be, to show up, right? Just being present. You want one more? Okay. Okay, spirit. the crane bag, sacred ocean, medicine, clutter, declutter, choice. Yeah, it's your choice to do that. You know, number 35 or an 8, which is like an infinity symbol, you know, and they're bringing up here about the sacred ocean medicine, and then here they're talking about these elements. So there's definitely something about these elements that they want you to look into. So clutter and declutter, it's your choice. You know, they're not just talking about your environment either. Like they're talking about that decluttering of the mind, being present, being in the nowness. You know, you see that she's got this like key that's hanging off of her arm here. Okay, we won't do this one. Okay, they're asking me to little pure intention. The fairy of manifestation will help you to use your wishes wisely, manifest your heart's desire with pure intention and for the highest good of all. And that's how you, oh my God, it's inspiration. Look at that. Be an inspiration and light the way for others. Inspiration, be prepared, as you'll soon receive a visit from the fairy of inspiration. Come dusk or dawn, she can call at any time. Okay, let's see what else is in here though. All right, Spirit, what is it that you want this group to know here? Purity, no joke. They keep bringing up about like the pure intention. Okay, little pure intention still on the bottom. Look, purity. Always trust in the purity of your heart. Look inside your heart. Within it, you will find the answer to your question. See, and this is what they're talking about with this, the elemental embrace and all that, being present. Oh my God, it's going to bring some kind of transformation though. This fairy tells you to surrender to a transformation in your life that's happening for your highest good. Embrace the transformation. The best is yet to come. That's that, sharing with the universe. Is there another one here, Spirit? Another card you want to come out here? Oh my goodness, I don't have time. My goodness. Solitude. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one. Oh my goodness, they were talking about the oneness, weren't they? I think that was in the last reading. There's a lot about the oneness in that. You might relate to one or the other. Look, wish wisely. Yeah, see, they keep talking about that wish too. I think you're trying to, I don't know what you're trying to manifest though. Okay, so think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. And wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart's desire and take practical steps toward making your dreams come true. Okay. So the solitude is where, like I said, where you're going to find that the solitude is where you're going to connect and get those messages. Low and transformation is split on that again. Okay. All right. So what do you want here? That deck. Oh, and on the bottom is temptation. Okay. Are you in denial about an unhealthy habit? Perhaps one that makes you feel guilty? This fairy says you have the power to overcome temptation whenever or whatever its guise. I think this might have something to do with group 2, this reading. Yeah, because I even split on precious time. That came out in the last one too. And it talks about The fairy of time wants you to experience every moment fully and to make the most of your precious time. Be mindful not to waste others' time either. Okay, so they want me to bring out a couple of dragon cards here. Well, pure white dragon from Orion transforms your ascension knowledge into pure wisdom. Process what you know. Act with truth and honesty. Let your wings of light grow and expand. You know, and this card here talks about sharing your knowledge. So they brought that up a few times. That's not the first time in this reading that they brought up sharing your knowledge. You know, and this dragon card came up in the last reading too. Look, and you have the fire dragon too. Burns up the lower energies around you. You are safe and protected. Be determined and inspired. Clear your soul pathway. You know, and they're bringing up these elements again. Okay, you want another one here? Okay, we'll take this one. Look at that, air and fire dragon. Expand your creative energies. Harness your creativity, excitement, and enthusiasm. Communicate your passion. All right, I think you need to make some kind of decision here. Oh my goodness, look, and when I was doing this, they were telling me they wanted an animal card to come out for the end here. Sunshine Yellow Dragon helps you to help animals, serve animals, heal, respect, and understand them. Wow. You know, they're talking about these elementals too, right? So you want this one instead. Okay, so I guess this is an animal card because you have the deer, which is very grounded. You have the yellow, like you have over here, like that beacon. You know, you have the crow and the blue jay. What else do you have here? You have a rabbit, not a rabbit, but a squirrel, which is like getting prepared. So squirrels are about like renewal. Okay, so they want me to read the sunshine card here. So let's see what, because they come in different dimensions. I don't know which dimension this one. Sunshine yellow is the 5th dimensional dragon, number 68. 68. Here we go. So the guidance here is drawing this card invites you to be open. Invites you to open your aura and allow Sunshine Yellow Dragon to pour light into you, containing the keys and codes. No, I was just saying about her having this key here. Yeah, they're talking about, you know, they were talking about like these cards here because they're about activating codes or something. Let's see here. Okay. Containing the keys and codes to understand at the profound level all the creatures of this planet. Then send these dragons to all humans who need to change their relationship with animals. See the minds and hearts of these people blazing gloriously yellow as they expand their perspective and see animals for who they truly are. It is all also important to visualize all the animals in the world being touched by yellow sunshine light dragons and lighting up with hope. Be a sunshine yellow bridge of light along with these dragons who travel to help animals everywhere. You will accrue good karma as you assist your fellow creatures. Well, that's it then. So you must be really connected. That's probably why you had me bring out all the elementals and stuff, because you're probably really connected to all the animals in the sea and the rivers and the streams on the earth and the air. It has all of it, right? That's beautiful. I mean, you might work with animals too. Okay, so this one here. Dear you, on my way, things are stirred up and change is upon you. This is cause for celebration. No need to be nervous, but know that it's okay to be afraid when faced with the uncertainties of life. The funny thing is that courage doesn't get mustered in the absence of fear, rather, in spite of it, or even because of it. Step into the unknown now. Let go of the branch you are clinging to, and let Spirit take the wheel and help steer you to your highest good and most wonderful adventure. All you need to concern yourself with is choosing courage as your ally. Leave the rest up to us. There's a load of miracles being shipped your way. Remember what philosopher Joseph Campbell said: take one step toward the gods, and they will take 10 towards you. Okay. We are all doing Destiny Cha-Cha on your behalf. That's right. Don't be afraid to dance. Loving you always. Okay, and it came out with the number 10. So that's what they're talking about here. Like, and this actually even talks about like the 7 stages, and then you have the number 10, and then they talk about the 10 steps. Wow. Okay, Spirit. All right. So I hope this is going to be beneficial to you, and I hope it finds you well. And I'm going to bid you a good day, and I'm going to send love and light.